put your bonnets on, because if you clicked on the video, you already know what we about to do. I've been seeing stuff like this all on the algorithm.
Paranormal experience in the hood.
There's a lot of spiritual energy in the hood, especially with black people. It was like this cauldron with these 3 witches around it, and they had me captive down there, and they wouldn't let me out. I just kept screaming.
She asked her parents if she could get a Ouija board. The parents bought it for her.
I'm 7 years old, I can't move, and the room is a tinted red. Thought I died and went to hell.
I can't move. I can't move my mouth. I can't talk. I can't scream because I'm trying to. I realize those are footsteps. Something is walking. Something is coming down the hallway towards me.
Get comfortable, get your snacks, get your apples and your peanut butter, do what you need to do, because, here we go. Now, this first story I'm about to show you is reparations. It's reparations.
So this woman wants her state to remain anonymous because she just felt like the story was just too crazy. So she said when she was 9 years old, she's now 42 years old, by the way. She said that when she was 9 years old, her parents made her grandparents move into the house with them because they had too many stairs in their house and they felt they were safer at home with them. So fast forward to her grandparents showed up with their luggage. She's helping her grandfather put his clothes away in the drawers, and he sent her out in the hallway to grab something for him. When he sent her out in the hallway to grab those things, she said that she saw a man, a woman, and 2 boys standing there in the hallway super close to the grandfather's room. Now, of course, you can imagine she can't believe her eyes. She said that she had never experienced anything before, no paranormal. She had never seen ghosts before. So she, just couldn't believe what she was seeing. Now, fast forward to, she said she asked her mom and her dad if they believe in ghosts because she wanted to know how they would take it if she told them what she saw. Her parents said they believe in ghosts, but they had never seen any before. And when she asked her grandmother about it, she said that the grandmother pretty much tried to make her feel stupid for believing in such things. Okay. Fast forward to now she's 13 years old. She said that she asked her parents if she could get a Ouija board. The parents bought it for her. Now you know what you know. You gonna buy your kid a Ouija board? I hope not. Anyway, so she said that when she got the Ouija board, she's 13 years old, keep in mind, she said that she started asking questions like, why are you here? They spelled out him. So when they spelled out him, she was confused and she said, who? And they spelled out grandpa. Now, right now, she doesn't know what to think. So she keeps up with the questions. And while she's asking all these questions, she said that the spirits grew agitated, I guess, and they started knocking things over in her room. So finally she asked, what happened to you? And she said her bed started to shake real bad once she asked what happened to them. Fast forward, she's not playing with the Ouija board anymore. It's time for her to go to bed. And so she said when she went to bed, she said she had a really weird dream. In the dream was the family that's wandering around her family home. And remember, it's a mom, a dad, and 2 boys. Now, in the dream, there is a man with a shotgun that's pretty much terrorizing them and holding them up. She's assuming that it's their home that this man came to with a shotgun. So she said the man with the shotgun, you can't see his face. His back is faced towards her. So she said the man with the shotgun hit the dad upside his head, and there's a huge gash in his head now. And then she said after he knocked him out, he then unalived the woman and her 2 boys. So fast forward, she said that she woke up, she couldn't go back to sleep, but she ended up telling her grandfather about it the next day. And when she told her grandfather about this, he was just staring at her like he had just seen a ghost. So she didn't know why he was looking the way that he was looking. She just knew that she didn't like the feeling she got after she told him. Then she turned around and she said that some months down the line, the grandfather was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So then once he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it took him pretty quickly. It progressed pretty fast. But she said that when he was on hospice, that was pretty much the most he had ever spoke and had ever talked. So she was just like, okay, it's a good time to start asking him some questions. She said the entire time he was on hospice, he kept saying he didn't want to go to hell. He felt bad about what he'd done. And she's pretty sure that he saw the family because whenever she saw the family, she noticed that his facial expressions would pretty much show I'm scared. Fast forward, he talks and she doesn't have to really ask any questions at this time. He just says that he was wrong for what he did to them. So then when she said that, she wanted to dig deeper and she said, who is them? He said, the family. So she was just wondering, she said, Grandpa, are you the man with the shotgun? And he said, Yes. And he started bawling. She said when he started crying, he was, pretty much started going crazy. They had to give him pain meds.
No, baby, them crocodile tears ain't gonna help you. Them crocodile tears ain't gonna help you. I just had to say that because it's time. It's time. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah, it's time.
So he was knocked out. So she had to pretty much wait until the next day, until he came to. She was hoping that he would start talking again. So she said a couple days passed, and that's when he started talking again. She said that the grandfather was talking to her and her mother about what had happened. He said that he kept calling him a traitor, which she heard in her dream. The man with the shotgun kept calling the man that he hit a traitor. And she said, why did you call him a traitor? Why was he a traitor? And he said that the reason that he was called a traitor and the reason he did what he did was because he was helping the colored folk. She said, okay, what was he helping them with? I'm confused. And so she's getting upset because she's thinking about what the hell went through your head on you killed an entire family because they were helping someone. So then he said, I called him a traitor because he was helping the colored folk. He had a grocery store, and the colored folk, didn't have any money. He gave them food. I found out that he was helping them and I didn't like it. So pretty much the granddaughter was done with him. She didn't want to talk to him anymore. And this is why that family was haunting him. He unalived an entire family because they were helping someone.
Every time I think about that time, it's just like the way people was so easy to do stuff like this, and I can't even get it out. And the fact that was revealed to her with the granddaughter, Spirit had said, "Go to sleep. Let me show you something real quick." No shade, but when her parents bought that Ouija board, we all knew they wasn't black, right? Okay, no shade at the, no shade. I'm just saying, like.
And another thing, I seen y'all talk about y'all paranormal experience in the hood, and I just want to talk about mine. It's really true that most of the paranormal experiences be happening in the hood. So much negativity and chaos that go in the hood. So why wouldn't it be a breeding ground for paranormal activity? All right, so this happened around 2012. When I was leaving my hood at Southeast called the Deuce, and I was going back to my grandmother's house, who happened to live on MLK. So I used to usually walk from 22nd to MLK. That's like a 12, 15-minute walk. So this night don't make it any different. It was a nice night around my hood. I decided to leave. I'm drunk. I'm tipsy. I'm zooted basically. It's a summer night and everybody know in the summertime people be outside in the hood. I get over there by Congress Heights Station. If you know, you know. It's a little cut right there that you can walk through, and it'll take you right there to the top part of MLK right there by the Popeye. I ain't gonna lie, so I'm by myself basically. I don't have a phone walking. Now I ain't gonna lie, I started to feel funny. I just knew, like, if you spiritual, you know. I just started to feel a head standing on the back of my neck. Mind you, it's like 12, 1 o'clock, and I gotta go through this alley to get to the main street. Now the way it is, y'all, you could go through this little alley part, right? And you could get there in 5 minutes, or you could walk straight down Alabama Avenue, and it's gonna take you about 15 minutes, 3 blocks, and then the right to get to where you going. But if you cut through the alley, you will get there like 5 minutes, right? So I'm like, I'm debating because I'm by myself. I usually don't even walk through the alley this late alone by myself, but I'm not trying to walk all the way around. I'm already drunk. Now, I'm going through the alley or whatever. So, well, this the scary part, y'all. Why I see somebody I knew, like knew, right? So I'm talking to bruh, like, I tried now. One thing is Southeast, when you come on your man, you dap him up. I try to dap this man up. He didn't dap me back up, but he still talking to me like, man, yeah, what's up? What's up, Pooh? Just talking to me or whatever, right? So I walk through the alley with him, y'all, or whatever. Walk to the end of the alley. He go where he going at, right? Once we get to where we going, he go to the left. I keep going straight because I lived it straight and you make the slight left or whatever, right? Well, I kind of find out, y'all, later that day or whatever, the next day I woke up or whatever, why they said that man was over there in the alley, had OD. So the man wasn't never alive, y'all. The nigga who met me in the alley was never alive. He was already gone, but he still made sure that I made it safe out that alley, man. One thing I can say, the paranormal experience be real in the hood. To this day, I still think something sinister could have happened if he did not meet me in the spiritual realm and walk me through that alley. Ain't no telling what was down there waiting for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just saying that to say this, that paranormal things happen in the community more than you realize.
I've heard experiences like this before, and it's called third man syndrome. Basically, when like something bad is about to happen to you, or you're in a state where you're like you don't know what's about to happen. Sometimes you'll have an experience where somebody who's not actually there, somebody who's passed on, and they come and they comfort you and they guide you through dark situations and when you lost and stuff like that. And then like they're not there afterwards. This person said they was zooted, like they came from a party doing all types of stuff, and they mind is not right. Because I feel like as soon as this person is like intuition kicked in, spiritual intuition, like something already came in to help her right down the alley and ready for it.
Oh, my time has come to share my story. I'm gonna make this a series, but let's get into it. So the house that I live in now, I've been there for over 20 years, but we're moving out now, but it has been haunted with like this incubus like demon, and it will watch me sleep every night, or sometimes it will come in my dreams and like consistently on a nightly basis. It was horrible. It was miserable. So every chance I got to leave my house, I did. I got left my mom's house many, many times because I'm like, this shit is too dark. Why is this happening? And then like sometimes like I would get like the sleep paralysis where it would be on top of me. Like it's so trifling. I was like, damn, man, even in the spiritual realm, it's fucked. Oh, God. I guess that's where they get it from. But it was horrendous, y'all. And I would tell my mom, and I'm like, Mom, there's something here, and it's not a good spirit. And she'll just go into the Jesus default. And I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. Clearly it's not working. Can I sage? Do you mind if I sage? Mind you, I am a spiritual medium, so I do see things. I have one foot in the spirit and one foot in the physical. If you know, you know. I saw one. But when I would tell her these things, like, Mom, we need to cleanse the house with ammonia. I need to get all white on. Have a cigar in my hand and smudge this bitch out. We need to get in the hoodoo bag. But every time I would talk about like my spiritual beliefs, it would always be deflected, and like she would just kind of like dismiss it. Like, no, this house is covered in the Lord and the blood of Jesus. I'm like, clearly the blood not working. It's not working. She's still here. She didn't believe that it was actually happening until my nephew said he saw the same thing that I've been seeing since I was a child. It was mind fucking to me. I was like, I've been saying this shit for years. And then when we started talking about moving out, so the thing, it's like one of those spirits or demons that just knows human language, so it knows what we're talking about. So when we started talking about we're moving, she started going haywire in the fucking house. She started falling off the walls. Dreams got more intense. Like it would literally come into my dreams or have me trapped in the basement. That would be something like I would have so many dreams of me being trapped in the basement, where the basement would be like. I will never forget this dream. I was like 13 years old. It was like this cauldron with these 3 witches around it. And they just had me captive down there and they wouldn't let me out. I just kept screaming. And I was like, what the f-? And then I would have more dreams after that would correlate to the basement, where I would try to sage the basement out. The sage, the lighter won't flick. I was like, oh my God, what type of is this? So you can only imagine. Now imagine being watched by your bedside for about, 20 years? Constantly being watched, being monitored. Ever since I came to this realm, it's some shit. And I'm like, you know what? I know my mission is big, but I see this as a challenge to overcome. So that's exactly what I did. So I had this one dream. This is the last dream. This is when it finally stopped with me. This one dream where it was just chasing me nonstop. And then I was running through the whole entire city. It kept chasing me. It got to the point where I stopped running. I said, why am I running? I stop, I turn, I look at it. And I'm like, he's just standing there. And then when I started running again, he started running. When I stopped, he stopped. I was like, fear. That's what's giving you power. It's the fear. Me running, you chase. When I run, you chase. When I stop and face you head on, you have no power. So ever since then, I stopped giving it power and I started asserting. This is when Mother Lilith energy started to tap in. No, Mother Lilith, she can be, one of her epithets is like mother of demons and stuff. So I was like, you know what? Bow down. Stop playing with me in my motherfucking house. I'm going to bed. That's how I started to assert myself. And that's when people are like, oh, Lexi, this is a very terrifying, scary story. No, it's not. Well, I'm sorry. Yes, it is. But now I'm like, I mastered it because I realized I called my power back from it. I'm like, you don't have power over me anymore. You and everything you stand for. If you come to my dreams again, I'm whooping your ass. That's how I started getting bucked with spirits like that. And then there have been times where I have yelled like in the physical, and in the dream, it took my voice away. I was like, bitch, I don't give a. So it's like a whole, like, I'm not scared. We can go toe to toe. Like, it's like that. It sounds absurd, I know, but there's a lot of spiritual energy in the hood, especially with Black people. We have a lot of shit that has not been processed. And I do a lot of ancestral veneration work, so I'm okay with working with spirit. I always pray those prayers of protection because there are spirits like that. But I also feel like it was something for me to learn from, because the Most High would not put me through things I cannot handle. Like, I did not come into this realm empty-handed without ammo or without backup and support. And I always wondered, I was like, ancestors, where are y'all at? Get this thing out of here. But my mom's so religious, she won't let me have no altars in the house. So I can't, there's no home center for my ancestors to even connect that. I'm the source. I'm the altar. So I'm doing everything myself. And I just had to keep praying to Archangel Michael, my ancestor. I'm like, yo, get this demon out of here. And Lexi, he's like, Lexi, he's tethered to the house. He's been here since y'all was a kid. He knows your every move. I said, damn it. So I'll never forget. I played this one video. I'm deep into subliminal work, guys. I believe in the audio. I believe in the frequency. And this is one subliminal. It's a Shiva subliminal that removes all demons. I played throughout the house. We have like these speakers that go throughout the house. I played that throughout the house. I had the windows open and everything. It flew out. It went outside. I don't know what mantra that they was singing, but it was working. But the only downfall was I had no wards to keep it out. So it came right back in. Like I'll never forget it. Me and the dog, we're playing it. I go outside to look, to bring the dog back in. I see it standing in the corner of the house and the dog is staring at it. I'm staring at it. And I'm like, the moment I start playing the song, it comes right back in. There's no ward. There was no warding in place. I cleansed it, banished it, but no protection, like physical protection. No, like my mind would let me get. Honestly, I did the best I could with water. Like I could put water in the corner, I could put ammonia in the corner, I could put salt on the floor, but I think it needed a little bit more. So I don't know. It was just chaotic. I'll never get it. And I would just tell my mom these things. My mom, she's spiritually sensitive too, but she covers it with Jesus. Okay. So these psychic gifts that I have, they had to come from somewhere. And I'd be trying to tell yo, I didn't just have these out of nowhere. Like this came from she's a dreamer too. And she would say every time she would go to sleep without the light on, she would have nightmares. I'm like, don't you think that's a sign? Or do you not? I'm trying to tell you, this shit in the house. Like whenever I sleep in the dark, I'll feel it in the corner staring at me. I'm like, oh, here we go. So you can only imagine the level of misery I have been at for these past 20 years. I've learned to alchemize and master it now, but I can only imagine someone else going through the same shit that I'm going through too. I think the point was to master the shadow realm, maybe? Or just knowing that when it comes to demons and spirits, if you give it fear, you give it power. If you don't give it anything, if you assert your power and call your power back and know that you are God, God is in the flesh, and you don't need to fear nothing, it has no power over you. I think that was the big lesson to learn from it. And honestly, just thinking about it, I'm like, I'm okay with not coming back to this house ever again after it gets sold.
See, look, even with her saying that she had a dream about witches being in the basement, or correct me if I'm wrong, if she said the dream that she saw with the witches, and then she also said that it's like some type of demon or negative energy that's just floating around the house and just collecting energy, and that's just his hotspot. Some of us are being prepared. Where we live, where we settle our energy at, we don't settle it for no reason. And you already know. She already said it. She knows she didn't come to this realm for no reason, without ammo, without things that she needed. She just needed to learn to exercise, to know how to use her powers and her abilities. Maybe her being at the house, the family being in the house, the mom, her, all of them being there, learning how to exercise your gifts and of cleaning, of spiritual awareness, connecting with your ancestors, even though you can't set up an altar. All of those things was preparing her for higher experiences, and it's not just she has to experience bad things in order for her to understand her gift, but where she placed herself at, where her family, her mother, her spirit and her energy being in this space. Y'all gotta think about it. Sometimes when y'all in specific houses, on specific lands, y'all not there for no reason. Y'all doing the work. You're sitting your energy in this space, and you're actually clearing and alchemizing the energy of the land, and also working with whatever energy that has happened in the past, and you're trying to clean, and you're cleaning that out. All of us are doing things that we don't realize that we're doing because we have these experiences and we demonize them, or we feel like that we're under attack, and it's you're not going to be put in situations you're not prepared for. Okay, even though you mentally, emotionally not prepared for it, your spirit knows that the power that it has. It's just about you knowing how to exercise and grow that power and come into that and remember it. Because you was doing the right thing with the water. You just got to create a water ward. You to get you a statue, get you a plant, get you paint a ward. Do what you need to do to give you the signals that okay, the barrier is getting looser. You gotta be more active with yourself, with your interaction with your spirit realm.
Since we talking paranormal activities taking place in the hood, I want to share my experience. I grew up going to my grandmother and grandfather's house on 63rd and Kenwood, just to give you some context. So not super hood, but not super safe, semi-hood. It was a little bit rougher back in the day before gentrification started taking place on that block specifically. So yeah, and also my grandfather was a struggling addict, so there were moments when he would with strangers while my dad was asleep, and I didn't know until I put two and two together as I got older. He would be like, do not come out this room for the rest of the night. Go use the bathroom now. Yeah, that happened a few times in my childhood. Mind you, this apartment we all stayed in, it always had an eerie vibe to me, and I thought it was just because, on the weekdays I would spend times with my mom. I would live with my mom and my grandma in the suburbs, so going from that contrast from a suburban lifestyle to a city semi-hood lifestyle would just be like, okay, this is different, but it just felt off. And it never felt off when we moved out of that apartment. I know now that motherfucker was haunted. And like, I had my first paranormal experience there, and it was very scary. So I'll fall asleep. I wake up. Mind you, there's no cable. There's only satellite television. You know, there's only about 7 channels. So I usually go to sleep with the TV on. I wake up. The TV is on like channel 32.1, and it's just a black screen. There's no signal for some reason. Also, I cannot move. I now know that the sleep paralysis. And it's not my last time having sleep paralysis, but it's my first. So I'm like, oh, I'm 7 years old. I can't move. And the room is a tinted red. I kid you not. The room was a tinted red. I thought I died and went to hell. And I can't move. I can't scream. I can't do anything. A man opens the door, and it's the handman, not the handman child. The tall man with the hat man. Yeah, I seen him motherfucker. He had no eyes, no face, but he was there, clear as day. And I'm scared to tell people this story because people think I'm crazy, but I kid you not. After that, I could not sleep in that room by myself anymore. My little sister had to sleep in the room with me. I used to sleep in my room with my dad and my stepmom. I used to be like, I'm going somewhere else. Like, I used to skip out on weekends with my dad for like a good, consistent time as a kid. And I was too scared to tell anybody because it was so traumatized. And I don't know, like, my grandfather bringing all those different types of energies into that apartment. Who knows what spiritual attachment were with these strangers he was doing DRUGS with? He could have been having some spirits following him. You just never know.
I had that same exact experiences when I did like a TikTok story time probably like 2 years ago, and I was talking about when it was like a dream astral projection. Like I came up out of my body when I was like at this house that I was house sitting for, and the tent of the house was literally like red, like just a real hellish energy. It just felt like I couldn't breathe. Like it was just man. I know about that. I know. Yeah.
Now let's get to it. Nobody's home. It's noon. Hot as hell. Bright, sunny fucking day. All the shades open. It's plenty of light. Ain't no dark gloom, nothing. I jump on the couch. Boom. I lay on the couch, cut on the TV. I'm watching the TV. A couple seconds after I lay there and I look at the TV, I get paralyzed. And when I say I'm paralyzed from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. I can't move. I can't move my mouth. I can't talk. I can't scream because I'm trying to scream. The only thing I can move is my eyes. But I can't move my head. I can't even try to move. You could try to move and struggle. Couldn't do that. Wasn't working. Wasn't moving at all. So I'm just stuck on the couch. I'm laying on the couch and I'm just stuck there. And the TV's on and I'm there and nobody's there but me. And it's like, I'm panicking. Like, what did I do? What the because when I got paralyzed, it was like something, it was a force. I felt like some energy, like woof. And then it was like, you can't move, boy. You know what I'm saying? So, and then to make things worse, remember what I just told y'all about how the house is set up. Coming from my room, I hear a noise. Thump. And I'm like, what the fuck? I can't say nothing. I can't move. And then I hear it again. Thump. And then the third time I hear it, thump, I realize those are footsteps. Something is walking. Something is coming down the hallway towards me. Thump. And it's that slow. Thump. It's just slow and deliberate. Thump. It's coming down the hallway from my room, right? Thump. Now it's in the kitchen. Thump. Thump. Now it's coming through the kitchen. And I'm hearing this shit and I can't move. I can't say nothing. I'm just stuck and I'm hearing it. Thump. Now it's at the stairs. What the fuck? Thump. Thump. It's at the bottom of the 3 stairs. It's at the bar directly overlooking where the fuck I'm at. And I still can't move and I can't see it. I just hear this. Thump. Thump. It's coming around the bar. Thump. Thump. It goes down 2 stairs. It's going to be in the room with me. Thump. Thump. Oh shit, it's in the fucking room with me. I still can't see shit. I'm laying here looking at the TV. I can't see nothing. Thump. And I'm hearing it come behind me. Thump. It's getting closer. Thump. It's getting closer. Thump. It's right behind me. It's like standing right here. If I would have did like this, or if I did like this, I would have seen it. But I can't move. I can only move my eyes. And I'm trying to move my eyes up like, what the fuck is standing over me? Because I can feel the presence of something standing over me. And the whole time I'm screaming, I'm trying to move, and my body ain't doing shit. And then everything went black. Like everything faded out. It's like, I don't know what happened. It was just like I got knocked out. You ever been knocked out? You know how it feels. Just like, boom, I'm knocked out, right? And then when I come back to, I'm still on the couch. And I don't know how much time had passed, but it's still daylight. And I'm sitting and I'm laying there for a second. And then I realize, oh, I can move. And I sit up and I jump the fuck up and I run the fuck out the house. Like I run. Cause I'm like, pew. I run through the house. Like I run out the house. I run out the door. I run down the carport. We got a long ass driveway. I run to the end of the driveway and I'm just like out of breath. Like I'm looking at the house and the house is looking at me. And I'm like, I can't go here right now. Like And I'm looking around, I don't see no cars. So as far as I know, my sister, my mom ain't there. And I'm like, there is no way I'm going back in there. And I never told nobody this story because, again, who gonna believe this shit? You feel what I'm saying?
It seemed like something that was like over, like a sluggish spirit that just tries to take a lot of energy and just drags it around with them. You know, like it sounded like it was dragging something. Like it had too much, like a gluttonous spirit, you know, because he's saying that like him living in that house for like 10 years and experiencing different experiences. He got a bunch of other stories of what happened in the house. But when you're hearing all this, it's just, oh no, 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 no. No. That last story did me. Okay, I'm tapping out. Y'all, listen. It's only so far we can go down this rabbit hole before we just be like, okay, hold on. Let's give it a second, right? Let's give it a second. Because what? What do you mean? Okay, so from what we have watched, because you know I got to put my little spin on it. Moving into a house is a spiritual assignment. Okay, these spirits are not just threats. They're also teachers. They're also initiators and also teaching you certain things about yourself and about the healing that needs to go on in your family and in the land. Your soul being called to a certain home, a certain neighborhood, a certain piece of land, it's not random. Okay, it's not. Everything is meant to be. Y'all really doing what y'all really doing sitting in the house or just being on the land. You're healing ancestral wounds tied to that land. So what I want y'all to know is there's a bigger esoteric pattern in y'all experiences and whatever house that you live in, like the land, the memory, the psychic residue, the imprints on the astral field. Some houses that you move in, even just like the energy of the house, like you can tell when certain things are coming up to the surface, like recognizing patterns of toxic relationships, violence, loss, like these experiences that happens in the house, that happens in your personal life is also happening in the house. Okay, and that's the energy that's whirling around, and that's the agreement and the contract that y'all have come into. But somebody has to be strong enough to be able to transmute the energy of this house, because some houses hold specific energy that kind of disrupt your life, shake up your life in a certain way, or like shake up your psychic and spiritual abilities to where like you're learning something, you know, and like sometimes you're supposed to alchemize the negative energy. Like, you know, just not looking at it from oh, this is negative and this is bad and this is a terrible thing, but it's like you got to understand that the land, the spirit, the energy of the house is only going to accept the ones who it wants in the house. You know, you getting approved for certain houses or apartments or places that you live. Like everything is put in place for you to continue along your path, and what you attract to is teaching you and growing you. So what is this house telling you and showing you about yourself, about your gifts, and about what you are able to sense in the land? What are you able to sense in the spirits in the house and the spirits of the land? So, you know, just a little bit of my inputs. If you made it this far, I want to say thank you for watching. You know, we tapped out at this point. We tapped out, but we tapped into ourselves and what all of these stories mean, and for what we take away from like just being on land, experiencing the places that you live, you know, like all of that, you know, it's deep, it's deeper, and it's not just a negative thing that you should demonize. So yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. This next video is about how the crystals, the stones, saved these people's lives. The ones y'all were saying that's for protection. These stories that these people were talking about, how the crystals protected them from an experience that could have just, well, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. I'm gonna see. Don't talk about, I know y'all been talking about my bonnet. Don't worry about that, because I feel comfortable like this. Yeah. Thank you.